Hello Warfighters, War is Hell. Welcome to the next episode of Star Citizen gameplay, where we're taking a look at Snackbar here, as we're kind of following him through his growth and just, I guess, his story here in Star Citizen. The last episode, which was a while ago, ended up with me and my Aurora heavily damaged. I mean, my thrusters were jacked up. I couldn't even slow up really that much at all, so I overshot the station and everything. So for this one, what I've done, or what Snackbar has done, is he's gone ahead and rented an Avenger Titan, and we're going to be doing some gameplay that's a little bit different than what you've kind of seen me do so far, since Snackbar is a mercenary and bounty hunter type gameplay with a lot of combat. For this one, we're going to be doing some other types of missions just for the purpose of earning some money to be able to pay for the repairs of the Aurora, and depending on how this goes, I might just turn it in for a different ship. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. That'll be in the next episode, so make sure you guys come back for that to see what decision I end up making there. But a lot of it, I think you guys will know at the end of the video, depending on how this goes, how well things are. Because if I really mess up this ship, I'm gonna penalize myself and say I gotta pay for the repairs for this thing too. So I'll be sticking with the Aurora if things don't go too well for me here. So this is a mission I haven't done yet. This will be the first time I've gone through and played it. This is all about deploying a probe. So there you go. You can start to see the Avenger Titan that I ended up renting for this particular episode. Now, one of the things that's different than what you'll see from the previous episodes, obviously this is a different ship, and I actually have a decent amount of cargo space to be able to do things like this. There are some different missions in addition to ones like this where you're going to need a cargo bay. Like if you're going through and you're doing a delivery or something, like you need a place to be able to put it. If you have a light fighter or something like that, I mean, in most cases you can't put that in your ship. So you need some type of ship that has this kind of capacity. We've got the bed and everything, so depending on how long I end up having this or playing it, I may fall asleep in that bed, which allows you to log out from whatever location that you're at. And as long as the ship that you log out from in bed, I said in bed, but when you log out from your bed, as long as the ship is, still there, you'll be able to pick up right where you left off at the same location, which is a pretty cool thing. I did it in a previous episode where I went to sleep in an asteroid field and then woke up in the same spot that I was before, which was pretty cool. So we're going to leave Port Olisar. What we're going to be doing is heading over to one of the moons of Crusader, and we're going to drop off this probe in the rings around the moon. Now, these rings have obviously got a lot of ice chunks that make it somewhat difficult to navigate through it, but these probes, I'm actually going to use them to try and get an indication of what might be going on around the moon, because this particular moon, I think it's pronounced Yela, I've heard a number of different pronunciations, but it holds a place called Grimhex, and this is one of the places where a lot of people who are kind of taking the more bandit or criminal type of track are going to go to. And so these chunks of ice really protect a lot of hostile forces that are in this area. So if I can deploy these probes, I may get some information about who's operating here, where they are, and I may use that in the future to run a few missions and earn some additional income by doing some bounty hunting against some of the different gangs and groups that operate out of here that are not so nice. So I'm at the position now where I have to deploy the probe, or at least I'm pretty close to it. I anticipate all I got to do is basically hop out the back and deploy it. We'll have to wait and see when I get to this location. I'll see if any of the objectives, like you see up the top, see if that changes. 2.5 clicks out now. Now, this particular ship, the Avenger Titan, has got a pretty good balance, I'd say, all around. I mean, it's not the fastest ship that you're going to find, but it's definitely not slow. It's got some cargo capacity, but it's not a huge hauler. This is one that I know a lot of people who are starting off the game end up getting. So the Aurora, which I had in previous episodes, and this one, this gives you a good look at a couple starter ships. So if you are new to the game or you are wanting to play Star Citizen, You can kind of see some of the ships that are out there. For those that have not gotten the game and really want to get it, I will put in the description below a code that'll get you 5,000 in-game credits when you start off. It's just a referral code. Oh yeah, activated the thing. Now it's just hovering. You know, maybe I don't even have to take it out of the ship. Maybe I could have just left it activated and just basically move forward and let it go out this way. But no, we'll do this the old-fashioned way. Jumping out of the ship. See, there I am EVAing away from the ship. And then I'll deploy it. And then this will tell me if this is really all that I have to do. Except it's not letting me interact with it at all outside, which makes me feel like maybe I'm doing something wrong. You got to remember, Star Citizen, very early on in its development. So there are a lot of bugs. It is alpha. Yeah, so I come in and then that works. I have no idea how it dropped out, but looks like it's slowing up. There we go. Now we'll activate it. It's a feature, not a bug, guys. That's what the probe is supposed to do. Okay, so we've got it deployed, completed the contract, get 2,500 alpha UEC. So we're going to head back into the ship, and since that mission has loaded up a second time, we're going to go through and we're going to do it again. So we're going to have 2 probes that are basically around the moon. That'll give me a lot more accuracy in knowing what's going on around here and knowing where the gangs are operating from, so that way I can, again, use this information for the future. So we'll hop back in the pilot seat. We're going to head back to Port Olisar, which is where we've kind of started off every mission so far, except the first one. I think I started off at Hurston for that one.
Flare ready.
But here we go. We're quantuming back to Port Olisar. This is basically rinse and repeat. So once I get back to Port Olisar, I'm going to go to the same station that I was at before to be able to pick up the next probe, and we'll start going from there. While I'm at Port Olisar, I may take a look at a couple things. I know just for me, I'm still operating with the default kit here with a flight suit and helmet. At some point, I'm going to want to take a look at upgrading that. But again, it's all going to be about having the right amount of money at the right time. So I don't want to like be spending all of this money on gear when I have to be RPing that I've got to pay for the repairs on my next ship. All right, back on Port Olisar. Like I said, here we are again. Now, what might be different on this is I don't know if in these missions, if I'm going to come up against any hostile forces around there. Like I said, they swarm around in the rings. So I could come across some of them at the deployment site. We'll go back. Someone actually said hi to me right here, which threw me for a loop. There is some cool in-game comms that people can use, and also proximity or speech based off of proximity. So like, you know, depending how close you are, it'll be how loud somebody is and stuff like that. There's somebody else too on the pad next to me. I'm wondering if that was the dude that was talking to me. It's cool like going to Port Olisar and being able to see what other ships are here, because yeah, I just threw that on the ground. Watch, this is some like multi-million-dollar probe and I just threw it on the ground. That's what I'm gonna have to pay for. Here I am just being like, no, I can't pay for a kit yet. I just threw a probe on the ground. But maybe in the future, because it's like what, 2950 or something like that. In the year 2950, those things are easy to make.
Combat assist activated. System
Mere pennies to make a probe like that. I don't know. All right, we're gonna request takeoff. We're gonna head back to the same moon that we were at, but obviously we're not gonna want to put 2 probes next to each other. So I'm gonna head back there, and it'll be a different part of the moon that we'll have to drop it off at. Okay, ready to quantum. And here we go. Honestly, I actually love this moon for going on the surface even too. Like, there's been a few cases way back when where I used to just fly pretty close to the surface. There really are some cool terrains and environments that you can be in. Like, I'm really excited for the next update to Star Citizen, which should be 3.9, and getting a chance to go to one of the newer planets, Microtech,
Quantum travel.
and just kind of fly around there and see what it's like. That is going to be super cool. I've been there a couple times, but like being able to spend a lot of time on it, it's pretty cool because Microtech has got a type of environment that is more snowy, and you've got forests and stuff. But, all right, I have yet to come across any hostiles at this point. And so I'm like kind of scanning the whole area basically. Nothing at all. So we've reached the deploy probe area. Same thing as last time. We'll make a quick stop. I'll kind of get into a closer position. That way I don't have to go a full 95 meters isn't too bad. I'm wondering what the radius is anyway. I don't have to be right over that to deploy the probe. Oh no, there's a dent in this probe. Where'd it come from? As long as it works. Which I don't think these things even take damage. I've played the game a few times when I've had like cargo in my ship and my ship is destroyed and the cargo is still there. Like one instance I quantumed right into the surface of a moon and the cargo was still there. Granted, it was underneath the ground so I couldn't get to it, but these things are indestructible. So I'm guessing this thing is too. Oh, here we go. Drop it, and then I think I can go through and activate it. See, I didn't even have the drop option before. All right. We're already picking up on stuff. Cool. So that's a total of 5,000 now that I've already gone ahead and made for this particular mission. Now, since I've got this cargo bay, I definitely want to use it as much as possible. One of the things I could do is I could start hauling some cargo from one location to another, but I think it has like a cargo capacity for 8 boxes, or 8 cargo units basically, which really isn't that much. There's a couple places where I know that I might be able to do it, but I feel like that the overall income that I'm going to get from it, especially with the amount of time that it will take to go from one location to another, there's probably some better uses of my time. So I'm going to do a few delivery missions. These ones can be a little risky if you get stopped by like bandits, or if you're hauling something illegal. There could be the police that can stop you, though I haven't had a stop of any kind for a while, so I don't know if that's been, you know, the latest update type of thing, and if that'll be something different in 3.9. Oh, cool. We came in on the dark side, so you can see the atmosphere, or the light through the atmosphere of it. Just got to go to the other side, so it'll be day once we end up landing. We just got to go to this mining facility. Where else this can be a little dangerous too is as you're going through and you're landing at some of these areas, you can, I mean, this is the area where you can go and pick up some of your cargo. And so if there are other players that are there, they could be hostile to you. So I'm still a little on edge as I'm going through this, not knowing if somebody's going to be at the same location that I am. And I'll probably just fall back because with the Avenger Titan, this is not the best ship to go up against a lot of players, especially those who have invested a lot more in their own ships and have ones that are bigger and better and more maneuverable than yours. And this is, I would say the Avenger Titan is a great all-around starter ship. I know that's kind of what I was getting at earlier. It'll let you do just about everything. I mean, it will hold its own in combat. We'll get a chance maybe to do it later. You've got a little cargo capacity. You can shuttle people around if you need to. So this is a good one to get. I've seen a lot of people get this one as their starter ship, but here we are. We're coming in. Nobody, at least that I can see around here, is hanging out. So we'll just come around and we're going to land at that far landing pad. I've already got the gear down. We'll just level it out.
Port in.
Go forward a little bit more, and then we'll come on down for our landing. We'll bring the nose up just a little bit.
Landing complete.
We got it. So the way that these delivery missions work is it's somewhat similar to what you saw with the probes. Basically what I got to do is pick up the crates and basically take them to another location like this. But they could be pretty substantial as far as how much that you make. I've seen, and I think I'm doing 2 of them here, where it's like 8,900 alpha UEC. So you do a couple of those missions and you basically pay off the rental if you're getting like an Avenger Titan. Obviously, if you're getting some larger ship, you're still going to have to do a lot more than just a couple delivery runs to be able to pay that one off. But some of the lower tier rentals, I think, are really good prices. Like the Arrow, for example, that was one that, months ago I was renting to just do some combat missions to have fun with. I fell in love with it. I mean, this is how I got to know the Avenger Titan is a good ship. There's a few others that you can get to. And I think that not only is it good if you're in a situation where, like, let's say you've got a pure fighter for your first ship, and you're missing out on all these other types of missions. I mean, it's a great way to be able to mix up the gameplay and kind of get you some experience in some other ships. So I think it makes a more well-rounded experience if you do use the rental system from time to time for the lower tier stuff. Maybe you get a few friends together. Maybe you can get something a little bit larger. But all right, you know what? Since I'm here, I'm going to pick up some gold here. And we're going to find a place to sell it at. So I'm going to spend over 46, almost 4,700 alpha UEC buying it. And then we'll drop it off at another location. We'll maybe make, like 800 off of it or something. So like I said, really not that much. The amount of time that it takes to complete one of those probe missions really makes me not want to do this. But we'll see if I get a different ship down the road that allows me to do some larger cargo runs. I think that might be interesting to kind of show you guys how that can work and how you can make money through that too. But we'll see. I mean, one of the biggest things, this is true about this game, is it can be very easy to spend a lot of money on this. I mean, obviously the money that you're putting into it goes to help with things like the development of the game, but I could see some people getting really addicted to buying some of the stuff that's in here, because it is nice having all these different ships. They're well made, they're beautiful, they're it's a fun environment to fly in, and a lot of these aircraft or spacecraft are pretty fun to fly. But I'll have to pace myself. I mean, Patreon, if this type of series really takes off, I may use some of the Patreon money to get some ships and stuff. But we'll see. All right, so we're taking off. And now what I'm going to do, since I looked at what I've got for different delivery missions around here, there's another one in the Crusader system that I can then pick up. So I'm going to pick up 2 of them. What I'm not going to do is, for this one, you can see I have to go to HDMS Stanhope, which is on Hurston. But rather than going from Crusader to Hurston and then come back to Crusader and go back to Hurston, I'm going to pick up the 2 that are in this planetary system in the Crusader system and start moving over. Actually, you know what? No. I was wrong. That is the only one that's here, but there's another one nearby in an R&R. So that's where we're traveling to now. So I'll pick it up over there. My bad. I totally forgot. Couple cool shots of the Titan. It's kind of cool to be able to showcase a different vessel. I mean, so far things have been going pretty good. I've actually made a good amount of money with that 5,000 earlier. I've got a little bit in my cargo bay. Unfortunately, though, and this is a known glitch, so I'm not like saying anything bad about it. I mean, everybody kind of knows it. a lot of the cargo doesn't show up in the back of your ship. I mean, it does from time to time. There have been some cargo runs where I've had the back of a ship that I've rented, completely full. Like they have an expo once a year that gives you an opportunity to rent various ships for free. They kind of rotate based off of the makers of all of the spacecraft. So like Drake, which is one of the in-game manufacturers of aircraft. Like I rented the Caterpillar, filled that up with cargo and did a run, and that was cool to be able to see all the cargo bays of that fully loaded. I love that ship. I'd love to do stuff with it, but you definitely need a crew for it.
Please proceed to assigned landing.
Well, you don't need a crew, but it is helpful. And I don't want to rely just on one profession. Like I don't want to be doing just cargo runs all day, every day.
Gear deployed.
But that would be a fun one to have. That'd be on my list. I actually have a list of all the craft I would want to get for the snack bar story here. All right, again, I have landed. We're going to head inside, and we got to go to the administration area. That's where they've got where you can go pick up the cargo. In the administration area, too, I'll take a look and see if I can sell the gold that I have. So this is inside the R&R. Okay, so just off, gives you a good look of what it's like here on the promenade. Okay, we're going to go in the door, and then we'll take a look. Here's the trading and shipping console. Sell. Titan. Nope, can't sell it here. That's all right. Nope, I'm not dropping off. I'm not dropping off. It's going to give me an error message. Yep. All right, so I'll have to switch to pickup this time. There we go. Got this. So we'll just head back to the ship. We'll drop it on the bed right next to the other one, and then we're going to start heading to Hurston. So that mining facility is, I believe, on one of Hurston's moons. So we should be able to get this done pretty quick. We'll take a look, because I want to do some combat. We'll take a look to see if there's any missions that we could do some combat with that allows us to really utilize this vessel. Here we go, taking off. We'll make the jump to Hurston. Hurston and Crusader, I feel like, are the two places where you can find the most amount of missions. So don't be surprised if over the life of this series, if that's where I spend the most amount of time. I really, really hope that there end up being more missions that I can do. That for me is fun. It's what helps build the story of Snack Bar here. We'll see if there's other ways I can get this to grow. I've got some ideas. I don't want to spoil everything here in this episode. Well, welcome to Hurston. It's got a pretty cool story. And if you've seen the first episode, you've seen what it kind of looks like on the main city there. All right, so here we go. We're going to drop off this first one at the mining facility on Lyria. Again, if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm always like second guessing myself when it comes to the pronunciation of a lot of these. All right, looks like we'll be landing on this side, so we'll have day. Again, worried about what we're going to find on the surface. Since it is a mining facility, you're going to have, or you have the potential to have some... oh, wait, I'm going to the other side. Oh, yeah, still day. You might have some more valuable minerals that you can pick up. And that tends to be a good place for people to do those cargo runs from. They'll just pick up the minerals from a place like this and then drop it off at a place that sells it. There's a lot of resources that tell you like what routes are out there and where you can go drop certain stuff at. I mean, obviously I didn't do it for the gold, but we're going to make the approach here pretty quick to the mining facility. And as I'm making the approach, again, I'm just scanning to see if there is anybody. I don't see anybody coming up on my radar. So we'll come in just a little bit at a higher angle than last time. But it shouldn't be a problem. Level out, move forward a bit. Get the nose slightly up. And here we go, coming down. There we go. 5 degrees was a little too much. That was a lot of bouncing right there. Turn off the engine, power off. You know what I've noticed too? I've done a far better job at remembering to close the doors on my way out. I think I have learned my lesson. That was such a problem with the Aurora and some of the other ships that I've used in the past. All right, we'll hop on out. And this is a pretty cool effect. The snow of the planet melts on your visor until you, or on your helmet, so you see the water droplets. See, this is the stuff with the game that makes me just absolutely think it is gorgeous. The stuff that it pulls off like that. So I'm excited for other types of environments, what they end up doing there. More planets, more missions, stuff like that. The hope is that there is more core gameplay that we can take part in. But I know there's a lot of great stuff coming down the line. Or as far as the roadmap, it shows there should be good stuff coming down the line. All right, we'll drop it off. Sweet. Place it on there. It'll close. And we should be getting the money. There we go. Mission accomplished. So objective complete. Contract complete. Show me the money. Yeah, 89.25. So those are the highest risk ones. They also take the most amount of time to complete. So there's definitely a reason why they end up being the more expensive ones or the more rewarding ones. But again, haven't ran into any bandits or any hostiles. Haven't run into any players during this too. So it's been smooth sailing. This is going to be some easy money. This is going far smoother than I thought. In fact, this has been going so smooth. I'm going to do a search one more time to see if there's any missions. I don't want to necessarily do something really high risk as far as combat goes. Just because I have 8,925 Alpha UEC sitting in the back that I don't want to lose and a bunch of time I don't want to miss out on. But we'll give it a run here and see. Alright, we're going to jump away. And we're going to see what we're up to next. It's a pretty cool shot actually going from that way. Again, wanted you to see another view of the ship. See that big gun that big Gatling gun right underneath the nose. That's the one I'm kind of wanting to take in action here. See how that goes. It's got a couple other guns on the side too. So she can put up a pretty decent fight, especially if you're just going up against 1s and 2s. The question is, and I don't remember off the top of my head how shields are for this. If shields are a problem, I'm going to find that out pretty quick. But here we are coming to Hurston. And I'm going to do the scan. Now the other package I have to drop off is actually on the surface of Hurston at Lorville, one of the city gates, which can take some time to get to. So as I come in, even though it's Stanhope is where I have to go for that one. My bad. So I could drop it off. But I got a mission where I have to recover stolen cargo. So like the box that I've got inside of my ships that I've been using for deliveries and stuff, one had gotten stolen from NPC. I've got to find the person that has it. I have to neutralize them. And then it should drop the box, and then I have to pick it up and take it to its location. So it's pretty similar to a delivery mission, except you blow up the hostile to get it. We'll see if they've got any friends here. We've brought them to the location. You can see all the debris and stuff. Looks like he's up here. Oh, it's a Mustang Delta. I should not have a problem taking him out. So I've got the weapons gimbaled, ready to fight. Just got to get him a little bit closer. You'll see that Gatling gun just really open up on this guy. It's even got some base to it, some oomph. We've got his rear shields down to like 50%. Now they're gone. Same thing with his starboard ones. He's getting them back up. He hasn't gotten too many shots off on me, but he's heavily damaged, as you can see. So this is what I mean. I mean, he can put up a pretty, or the Titan can put up a pretty decent fight against ships like this. Awesome. Destroy him. Take very little to no damage, basically. And there's that box. So I'm going to go just a little bit past it. We'll keep everything on, but I'm going to head out from the ship. We're going to go pick it up. And we will drop it off. I think that's the one I got to take to the Lorville City Gate. Or one of them, anyway. You know, while I'm down there on Hurston, I can sell the gold, too. So I can get a little bit more from this. So having a random objective like this, as long as I don't get my ship destroyed, I may be able to get another ship for the next episode. Yep, got to take it to Lorville Gate 2. Kind of jumped ahead a little bit. Okay, we'll head in. That's actually a pretty cool shot. The way the sun and the smoke or steam, whatever that is. All right, back to having 2 boxes on the bed. We'll get back in, and then we are going to head to Hurston. We'll drop off the package that we have to do for the delivery, since that is the more expensive one, or the more rewarding one. All right, we're back at Hurston. Now, there are some spots on Hurston that I've come across that they have turrets there too, so that'll be one cautious thing I'll have to take into consideration as I move forward, is whether or not I am going to be fired upon. I think it is tied to some missions that you can get here as well that are ground combat related. Alright, we're coming around. So it looks like it'll probably be night. I mean, with the altitude that we've got, we can still see the sun, but as you come in a little bit closer, yeah, you can see it's starting to dim down. This may make a pretty cool cinematic, though, here as we're making our approach in. Okay, we got a ways to go. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool. Out of all the shots that I do cinematic-wise, it's these ones that, again, make me just realize the beauty that's in this game. That's a really cool shot. Okay, so with it being night, a little tougher to see where everything is, but you still got the lights up. I've got my lights on too, which is helping me quite a bit. We'll go to this landing pad. Same thing, not encountering anybody here.
Proximity alert. Head.
Okay, moving up.
Proximity alert.
There's some of the trees you can see up ahead.
Landing complete.
Ooh, that was probably my roughest landing of all. Yeah, I had a little bit of a bounce, but I didn't come down nearly as fast as I did right there. I should stress, too, that even though I don't see a ship around here, that doesn't mean that somebody hasn't been dropped off. So there still is a risk every time I do this that someone could be outside of their ship. The only thing that kind of protects me is I am in the armistice zone where you can't really take out your weapon or anything, but you could still have somebody. This is why I'm always trying to remember to close the ship. You could have somebody get on your ship, hide, and then once you get out of that zone, then they can come out, take you down, and steal your ship. So still have to exercise caution even in these places that are supposed to be protected. All right, we'll go in here and we'll drop it off like we did before. This will be another 8,925. I'm pretty sure here that you cannot sell the gold, so I'm gonna have to go to the exchange there in Lorville and do it. I feel bad for these guys who just hang out here all day. Like, you come into these spots and there's somebody there. Usually they greet you or something. And done. See? Guys like him. Alright, so we're heading back to the Titan after making that money. It should be really, really easy now for us to get the last little bit of income, which will put me over the top. I would estimate, like you said, 800 in gold that we've got there, and as well as that box. Yeah, I'm getting another ship next time. Now we're just gonna have to break atmosphere to make the quick quantum to Lorville. So I'm up and away. Coming back down now. Lorville, you got that big structure right there, which is inside of that, or you actually head to that location to be able to sell a lot of your goods. So I'll have to take a train there. But with this atmosphere, it is slow going trying to get there, so we'll do a cinematic to save you from having to watch all of this. But no, I hope this has showcased a little bit what the Avenger Titan can do. Some of the ways that you can use it, and also some of the other types of careers or missions that you can do in this game, because there should be a lot of combat that I'll be taking part in just as this continues to develop. And so with that being the case, I don't want this game to be perceived by many of you as just combat only. Like, yes, you can do that, but there's a lot of other cool careers. Now, as I come into Tisa Spaceport, the real challenge is landing this thing. So you got to go into those openings, and it's not the easiest. The way I started out is I would be level with the ground, and then I would just go into third person and try and balance my way in. But now I do it like this, where I just go in nose first, and then once I am in, level out and do the auto landing. Far easier, by the way, guys, than trying to hover in and then go down. But with some of the larger ships, like a Carrack or something like that, I can imagine that is probably not the best thing to do. But if you have a smaller ship, there you go. Well, one of the things about going to Hurston here, too, is this is where I actually rented the ship from. So this is where I drop it off at. So this will be the last time that we will see the Avenger Titan, at least for a while. Maybe I'll rent it again in the future if you guys are really, really digging this, and just kind of do some other types of missions. But we've got some other ships that I'd love to showcase, too. All right, so we're taking the train, which provides a pretty cool view. Since Hurston is an industrialized planet, we've got tons of cargo and manufacturing and things like that are going on here. It's one of the reasons why, you know, you'll see a lot of purchasing and stuff. All right, so at this stop, we're going to the city gate. So I've saved you actually quite a bit of time just jumping to this, because it does take a while to get to this location. I actually went through and sold the gold and made a little bit of money off of that too. I can't remember exactly how much it was. But I got a little bit more than I started off with, so hey, that's not bad at all. Put in, what was it, like 4,600 or maybe a little bit more than that, and as long as you don't get destroyed, you can make it to your destination. You can make a little income that way. Now, I probably should be tracking where the objective is, but I'm pretty sure it's down here where I'm supposed to drop it off at. And then with that, that's going to be it. We've made a good amount of money today. Combat, you can make a lot of money pretty quick, but you can do the same thing here too. I guess the biggest moneymaker is cargo hauling, which is another reason why I want to give that a shot. Yep, there it is. There's the drop-off point. If I had a ground vehicle, I could pick it up here too and drive it around a little bit, but I do not have one at this time. Cool, so we'll be able to drop this off, place it in. Just want to make sure that I do not get an error, because there have been a few times that I've popped the cargo box in and I get an error message and I get no money from it. Perfect. Objective complete, contract complete. So I'm going to head back on the train, and I am going to get my new aircraft or my new spacecraft. So come back for the next episode. Subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can be notified when Star Citizen and other gameplay that I do on this channel ends up coming out. If you want to help support me in making more episodes like this with Star Citizen, Patreon is a great way to help support me. That is in the description below, as well as a link to the War is Hell Discord. Drop by, say hi. We've got Star Citizen news in there, as well as for other games that I end up playing like Arma and stuff on this channel. So hopefully you'll come back for that one. Anyway, thanks again for watching, guys. I appreciate it. War is hell. You don't have to worry because Warfighters, I got your 6.